G'day and welcome to another video from the Aussie Ideas Man. I decided I'd show my face in this one on a rare occasion, and I'm going to have a little chit chat because I've just seen the engineer do it and thought, well, if he can do it, I can. Except I can't talk about my fro. In any case, I'll just let you know that you might not see me so well because it's going dark. It's winter in Brisbane, and 5:15 in the afternoon, and the light has already faded. The sun has gone down over the horizon, and it's getting maybe a little bit cool, but not as cold as most of the world in this time of the year, when it is that time of the year seasonally. Well, that's about all I can think of to chit chat. So I've shown my um, beginning of. I wonder if I can just change it a bit. Starting a new video, and this one's from the Hillbilly. Yes, it's that strange sounding guy from Free Power, and his thoughts on solar solar cells, solar panels after an announcement by the snake oil salesman on another webinar going back some. They're always finding things to talk about, which for me is good because I find something to talk about too, as the voice of reason, as I put it, and hopefully just try to convince a few people to keep their hands in their pockets and don't fork out money for what might be the second scam of the century after what could be the first scam of the century, Aptera 2011 folding. Now, most of you would go, what is he talking about? Didn't they fold just because they couldn't raise money? Well, I don't think so. I think they folded and used not being able to raise money as a cop-out. And I believe that they intended not to raise money in the first place. And I believe that there was a lot of money went missing, and the same thing could happen again. Now, I have no proof. I'm not accusing them of it. I'm just surmising, just saying maybe. And this is something we have to keep in mind as we look at how things are panning out. And for me, this whole scenario with Aptera version 2 is panning out in an almost similar way. There are slight differences, subtle differences, but an almost similar way to how it went the first time. And it's actually going about the same length of time now, so I'm hoping that things come to a head soon. I will be able to find other things to practice on, but it won't be as easy when I don't have Aptera. Well, there's my discussion. Now I'll just go to do my ending.
Hi everybody, how you doing today? Hope you're having a good one, and I am bringing this some good information to you about Aptera and how they're continuing to update their facility as well as the equipment that they're receiving and the vehicle they're trying to produce. They are actually continuing to update all the equipment that's being used for the Delta that's coming out. Hopefully you feel the same way. And I actually want to talk about their solar panels, how they are actually updating that. So let's get into it. And I just want to talk about the solar panels that they're coming out with. They are actually updating them. And I have a video clip that I want to look at that they had talked about the solar panel and all the upgrades that they did to each and every panel that they are forming for the vehicle. And so let's take a look at that.
Our solar team has made amazing progress behind us here. Really, we had the first production validation with producing kind of 10 panels a day at our other shop, and now we're kind of streamlining our operations here. And investigating really the production materials that will take to production. And since you last saw panels being made, we've actually increased the durability of the panels. There's quite a bit more hardness, so the surface finish is a lot nicer, a lot more luster. It has more scratch resistance now, which is great, and it's less reflective. We're also working with materials groups on some coatings that can have some real impact to our solar production, which we think is really cool.
It's also more manufacturable. We don't have struggle with the air bubbles and other artifacts that you see in the manufacturing process. So those are basically non-existent in the new material. So
yeah, we had a lot of early production issues and some delamination, and you see the air bubbles over time. And these new panels just they're perfect every time. Every time we see one, I'm just giddy over how cool they look. And investigating really the production materials that will take to production. And since you last saw panels being made, we've actually increased the durability of the panels. There's quite a bit more hardness, so the surface finish is a lot nicer, a lot more luster. It has more scratch resistance now, which is great, and it's less reflective. We're also working with materials groups on some coatings that can have some real impact to our solar production, which we think is really cool.
it's also more manufacturable. We don't have struggle with the air bubbles and other artifacts that you see in the manufacturing process. So those are basically non-existent in the new material. So
yeah, we had a lot of early production issues and some delamination, and you see the air bubbles over time. And these new panels just they're perfect every time. Every time we see one, I'm just giddy over how cool they look.
They are manufacturing them faster because they started out, they were making 10 panels per vehicle a day. That is not a lot. But we have to take under consideration that Aptera is actually the first company that's actually utilizing this specific procedure to get this done. No other company has ever done this. They're taking solar panels and they're bending them on two axes to get this to work on top of a vehicle that's not flat. So Aptera is really doing an amazing job. And if they actually doubled the production from 10 to 20, that's a significant feat. Hopefully they doing more than that. Maybe they can do 40 panels per vehicle. That would be much up their line of getting this taken care of. If they have, kudos to them. Awesome. So what do you think? You think they're going to get this taken care of where they have all the material coming out as fast as what the CPC is going to be coming out with the vehicles for them to produce the vehicles with once they get to Carlsbad, California? I mean, it's something that we're actually going to have to wait and see, but I think that Aptera is, they're ready to go. They are gung ho to get Aptera out. And I think that they are going to have a surprise for us when they do come out with it. But once again, give me your comments below. Tell me what you think. I'm eager to hear what you have to say. But yeah, Aptera is really getting this taken care of. And I like how he said that, manufacturing them now, the solar panels are less reflective. So that helps out a lot. It'll make the solar panels last longer. And also that the bubbles that would tend to come up when they made them. So they don't have to worry about that ever happening again either. So they can make the panels much faster without having to resurface them or whatever they had to do when the bubbles pop up. Uh, but once again, give me your comments below. Tell me what you think. I think that would be great.
This is the Aussie ideas, man. I, of course, split this and put one at the start and one at the end. That's all for me from now. Stay safe.